So the research shows that our internal happiness is connected to kindness. Dr. Sonia Lubomirsky, a psychology professor at UC Riverside, studied internal happiness, and she came up with the 3 things that affect it. 50% of your internal happiness comes from your biology, your genetics, who your parents are. 10% comes from your living circumstances, so who you choose to surround yourself with. But that left 40% of our internal happiness. And what affects that? Your intentional actions. So by choosing to step into kindness, to do a 1,000 mitzvah project, to look for ways I could be kind, I had found the secret elixir of internal happiness. And I share it with you because it's open to all of us. After living through 2020, wouldn't you like that secret elixir that would help you elevate your internal happiness? I think we all could use a little bit more of that moving forward. The 3 lessons that I have learned in this last decade of doing work on kindness is that the size of the kindness doesn't necessarily matter. There's often a ripple effect, and giving and receiving kindness feels different. The second lesson I learned is about the ripple effect. We don't know when we do an act of kindness how it might actually ripple out to other people. In fact, you may never know what your simple small act of kindness meant to someone else. But in the audiences I speak to, the stories I have heard, a small act of kindness could have a ripple effect that could last decades. The third lesson I learned was about giving and receiving kindness. How many of you find it pretty easy to be the givers? Raise your hands. And that's what I expected. Almost all of your hands are up. Keep your hands up if it's just as easy for you to be the recipient of kindness. And if you're like most of my audiences, like 3/4 of your hands went down. And that's very typical. Why is that? Because when we are the giver of kindness, it's kind of easy to do that. We see a need, we fill a need. But to be the recipient of kindness, you have to admit, I don't have it all together. I spoke to a credit union association in April, and I gave my Economy of Kindness keynote, and it was virtual. We were still in the virtual days, and the next day on social media, Nick, one of the credit union attendees, professional from a credit union, posted something. He said, I was so inspired by what Linda shared about being able to be a kindness catalyst myself. He said his gift was baking. He loved making key lime pie, so he baked key lime pie. He cut it into slices of kindness, and that next day he shared it with all of his employees. He wrote them each a little note, a handwritten note, and they took a picture holding their slices of kindness, and he tagged me on social media, and he shared that I had inspired him to go out and be that kindness catalyst within his organization. Credit union professionals, you have kindness in your DNA. And I love being able to talk to audiences like yours, where when I share with you why kindness matters and how important it is, you go back to your credit unions and you absolutely share how you can be a kindness catalyst too.